Hello, today is the anniversary of the death in 1974 of Koko the Clown, uh, famous for his work with the Bertram Mills Circus during the last century. Nikolai Polyakov, obviously his real name, OBE. He was on Desert Island Discs. He was on This Is Your Life. You know, he was well known in Britain in the middle of the last century, and he was what was known as a red clown. Koko the Clown was the one kind of clown, and I gather there are different kinds of clowns, but he was the kind of clown that was otherwise known as an august clown, the red clown, the one always on the receiving end of the mud pie in the face or the bucket of water over your head, the one who's always getting into trouble and making mistakes and being clumsy. And this was his persona, and he made a really good job of it. I never saw him, but knew of him, and clearly he brought a lot of people into the circus because they wanted to see him. And the question is, what is so attractive about this kind of artistic performance? And I think it's something to do with the fact that when we see a clown like him, really really struggling with life and trying to get through it without too much bashing from other people and upsets. We can identify with that because all of us struggle with life. All of us find that there are times when we fail, times when we feel awkward, times when we feel clumsy, times when we don't get things right. And because these failings are really exaggerated in the way Koko the Clown performs, and so we can kind of identify with him. And I think the word for this, a lovely Greek word in origin, catharsis. The word means cleansing, purging, and somehow to see someone else in a humorous situation like that, struggling, kind of helps us to get rid of our own anxieties and our own worries and our own fears about being seen as that kind of person. Uh, we need catharsis really for all sorts of things that happen. We need to somehow get rid of the feelings that well up inside us, if they're painful ones or feelings of shame. Or feelings of anger. We need to deal with these somehow. Being angry and aggressive ourselves isn't good. Bottling it all up isn't good. Endlessly going over it and over it in our heads isn't good. We need somehow to get it out, and there are various ways of doing this, of course. Uh, Journaling, writing it down, engaging in other forms of creativity, exercise, talking with a friend who really listens and doesn't pretend that what you're talking about isn't really so important as you're suggesting. But a number of ways of getting rid of the feelings that well up inside us. And listening to music is one, and certainly it's thought that people who went to see Koko the Clown had that kind of catharsis because they saw him being on the receiving end of so much trouble and difficulty. They were able to get rid of the feelings, either because they were going through a hard time or because they feared they might go through a hard time. They were able to get those feelings and those worries out of them, and to come out of the circus tent refreshed and more confident. I don't know what's going to happen to you and me today, but there may be something that we need to get out of our system. Koko the Clown not available to us anymore, but let's find other ways of dealing with those things that upset us without resorting to things that are bad for us or harmful to other people.